Instant noodles are considered one of the greatest inventions of the 20th century. Every year, more than 120 billion packets are consumed around the world. That's nearly 13 servings for every person on the planet. Once just a cheap and quick meal, instant noodles have become a symbol of the convenience revolution in the food industry. With nothing more than hot water, they spring back to life in just a few minutes. But how can a simple mix of flour, water, and a bit of oil stay fresh for months without spoiling? Is the secret in preservatives? Or is there a hidden process behind it? Today, let's step inside the factory to uncover the answer. To understand how instant noodles ended up on supermarket shelves today, we need to go back to Japan in the 1940s. After World War II, the country was struck by severe famine. Crops failed, and people lined up for hours just to buy a single bowl of hot noodles from street vendors. In those desperate times, ramen and gyoza, both made from surplus wheat flour, were considered revival foods, providing quick energy and helping people survive hunger. Yet the Japanese government at the time encouraged the use of imported American wheat to make bread, a food completely foreign to Japanese tradition. Witnessing this, a man named Momofuku Ando asked a simple question that would change the course of food history. Why not use wheat flour to make noodles instead? Ando began experimenting, determined to create a meal that was convenient, delicious, and could last a long time. The breakthrough came unexpectedly, right in his own kitchen. Watching his wife fry tempura, he realized the key was frying. The process removed all moisture from the noodles, leaving them crisp, shelf-stable, and ready to come back to life the moment hot water was added. From that discovery, the first block of instant noodles was born. Compact, lightweight, and full of potential. Ando knew that to succeed, his product had to be tasty, affordable, and easy to prepare. He achieved all three, selling each serving for just 29 cents. The result? Instant noodles quickly became a symbol of Japanese ingenuity and are now recognized as one of the greatest inventions of the 20th century. And the journey didn't stop there. This humble meal even made its way into space, where one astronaut famously smiled and said, "I really like it." Back to the present. Inside a modern instant noodle factory, the journey begins with the most basic ingredient, wheat flour. Truckloads of flour arrive and are pumped directly into massive silos for storage. When production starts, only the precise amount needed is transferred to the mixing area, ensuring freshness and consistent quality in every batch. Most of the flour is imported from Canada, known for its high-protein wheat, about 12% protein with only 0.2% ash content. In the industry, this is called go flour, the key ingredient that gives instant noodles their signature elasticity, chewiness, and naturally bright white color. A portion of the flour also comes from Australia, which produces a softer and lighter type of wheat. This helps fine-tune the noodle texture depending on the recipe. Not all flour is the same. Each region produces wheat with unique properties. Blending different varieties together is the secret behind the distinct flavor, texture, and chewiness that define each instant noodle brand. In the mixing area, everything begins with defining the desired characteristics of the noodle. The main ingredient, wheat flour, is poured into large industrial mixers that run continuously, processing several tons of flour each day. Here, the flour is combined with salt and chilled water. The water is cooled to very low temperatures to keep the dough stable and ensure higher quality noodles. The noodle's natural golden hue actually comes from vitamin B2, not from artificial coloring. Another crucial step is the addition of kansui, a traditional alkaline solution mixed into the brine. This solution raises the pH level, altering the protein structure in the flour and giving the noodles their distinct flavor and springy texture. This stage demands extreme precision. The moisture content must be controlled to the exact percentage, as even a slight deviation can cause the noodles to break, stick, or lose their shape during frying and drying. After mixing, The dough is allowed to rest for a set period so the gluten can relax, making the dough smoother, softer, and ready to be rolled into perfect noodle sheets. When the mixing process is complete, the dough is transferred to the lower level to begin the sheeting process. After resting for about 45 minutes to allow the gluten to stabilize, the dough enters a continuous rolling system. At the initial stage, the dough is still coarse and thick, about 2 inches thick. As it passes through a series of rotating steel rollers, the goal is to reduce the thickness gradually, never more than 30% per pass. With each roll, the dough becomes thinner, smoother, and more uniform. This process is carried out slowly and precisely, not just to flatten the dough, but to further develop the gluten structure, giving the noodles their ideal chewiness and elasticity. By the end, the dough reaches its final thickness of about 1/25 of an inch. Once the dough sheets are rolled to the ideal thinness, they're sent to the cutting machine, where razor-sharp, specially designed steel blades begin to transform the dough into noodles. Here, the cutting process not only shapes the noodles, but also creates the iconic wavy texture that defines instant noodles. The curliness or straightness of the noodles is precisely controlled by adjusting the pressure between the rollers and adding a special silicone belt. For example, to make tighter waves, the tension on the silicone belt is increased. This step is crucial. It's where the length, width, and shape of each noodle strand are determined, accurate down to the millimeter. Depending on the type of noodle being produced, the cutting machine can be fitted with different blade configurations. From fine blades for thin, springy ramen noodles to flat blades for wider noodles or cup-style varieties. Only a select few technicians are authorized to handle these blades, as their alignment requires exceptional precision and skill. After being cut into strands, the noodles move on to the hot water spraying line, a crucial step known as pre-steaming hydration. Here, fine nozzles gently mist the noodles with a uniform layer of hot water. The water is sprayed at around 160 degrees Fahrenheit, just enough to make the noodles more flexible without fully cooking them. As the starch inside the strands begins to swell and gelatinize, the noodles become more elastic and stable in shape. This process helps lock in the signature curly texture of instant noodles, preventing them from straightening or breaking during steaming. It also allows the noodles to lightly stick together at the edges, forming compact but non-sticky noodle blocks. From there, the continuous noodle sheet moves into the steaming chamber, where hot steam is injected at 210 to 220 degrees Fahrenheit for about 3 minutes. During this stage, the heat and moisture penetrate deep into the noodles, cooking them evenly from the outside in, enhancing both their flavor and chewy texture. Once the long, wavy noodle sheets have been hydrated and shaped, they're cut into equal portions known as noodle blocks. Each block is carefully placed into a metal mold that preserves its structure and wave pattern throughout the frying process. These molds are attached to a continuous oil conveyor, passing through a massive deep frying tank filled with high-temperature vegetable oil. Inside, the noodles are fried until crisp. Their moisture content drops to just 2 to 5%. Low enough to prevent bacterial growth and allow the product to be stored for up to 12 months without preservatives. Frying gives the noodles their signature porous texture, allowing them to rehydrate evenly when soaked in hot water. It also enhances their flavor, aroma, and golden color. And yes, they're crunchy and delicious enough to eat straight out of the pack. After leaving the fryer, the noodle blocks pass through a vibration and hot air system that removes excess oil, keeping them light and dry. Finally, a blast of cool air rapidly brings down the temperature, locking in the crispness and preparing the noodles perfectly for the packaging stage. The steps you've seen so far are only half the journey before that packet of noodles reaches your bowl. The other half, and truly the soul of the dish, lies in the seasoning and soup packets, the elements that give each instant noodle brand its own unique identity and flavor. While the noodle blocks themselves might look similar across brands, it's the broth and seasoning that define their distinct character. A typical packet of instant noodles usually includes 3 main seasoning sachets. The base sauce packet, this determines the noodle's overall flavor profile, Whether it's salty, sweet, rich, or spicy, the signature seasoning oil or paste, packed with the brand's unique flavorings and spices, ranging from beef stew, chicken, and mushroom, to Thai-style hot and sour or bold curry flavors. The dried vegetable mix, a colorful blend of green onions, carrots, corn, shrimp, chicken, or beef bits that have been dehydrated or freeze-dried to preserve their natural colors. These add bright shades of green, orange, and yellow, along with a fresh aroma that brings the bowl of noodles to life. To create the base sauce, the very soul of flavor in every packet of instant noodles, the factory begins by cooking a carefully measured blend inside massive stainless steel mixing tanks. Each ingredient is weighed with precision. Vegetable oil, salt, sugar, dry spices, minced onions, and finely ground chili powder. These are continuously stirred together to form a rich, balanced flavor base. A perfect harmony of spice, saltiness, sweetness, and savoriness. Once the mixture reaches uniform consistency, it is heated to around 190 degrees Fahrenheit, allowing all ingredients to fully dissolve while gently sterilizing the sauce to extend its shelf life. Next, the mixture undergoes high-pressure homogenization, which tightly binds oil and water molecules together, creating the sauce's signature smooth, creamy texture. For the signature sauce packets, each flavor follows its own unique recipe, and one of the most popular is the braised beef flavor. The journey begins with large beef leg bones delivered to the factory. Workers carefully inspect and sort them, removing any impurities before feeding them into industrial grinders, where the bones are crushed into small pieces about 1 to 2 inches long. The crushed bones are then loaded into high-pressure kettles, simmering at 250 to 265 degrees Fahrenheit for about 4 hours. The result is a rich, concentrated broth filled with gelatin, collagen, and natural beef fat, carrying that unmistakable slow-cooked aroma. Once the simmering is complete, the broth is carefully filtered and reduced, shrinking to just 20 to 30% of its original volume, creating a deep, robust flavor base. Next, the concentrated broth is pumped into large stainless steel mixing tanks, where the braised beef-based sauce is crafted. Refined vegetable oil is added first to help dissolve and carry the flavors, followed by salt, sugar, MSG, black pepper, garlic, ginger, and fried onions. The core seasonings that create a balanced, savory-sweet taste with a gentle heat. The mixture is heated to about 190 degrees Fahrenheit, then enriched with beef extract, natural flavorings, caramel color, and a touch of modified starch to achieve a smooth, glossy texture and an appetizing brown hue. Automated stirrers blend everything continuously for around 20 minutes, ensuring perfect consistency. Alongside the sauce and seasoning packets, the dried vegetable mix is what brings life and color to every bowl of noodles. The ingredients are carefully selected, usually green onions, carrots, sweet corn, garlic, chili, and mushrooms cut into small pieces. After being thoroughly washed and evenly sliced, the fresh vegetables are spread thinly on trays and sent into the drying system. In hot air drying, a gentle stream of warm air continuously flows over the vegetables, gradually removing moisture while keeping their shape and natural color. Then placed in a vacuum where water evaporates directly from solid to vapor. This process helps preserve nearly all the vitamins, minerals, and fresh flavor of the original ingredients. When consumers pour the dried vegetables into boiling water, a revival happens instantly. Within seconds, slices of carrot, kernels of corn, and bits of green onion expand and bloom back to their vibrant orange, yellow, and green. The noodles become not only more flavorful, but also more colorful and nutritionally balanced. Alongside traditional flavors, manufacturers have also developed special modern varieties, such as stir-fried noodles with tomato sauce, inspired by classic Italian pasta dishes. The process begins with massive drums of concentrated tomato paste, each weighing up to 1,500 pounds. These drums are lifted by mechanical arms and emptied into a high-capacity press, which extracts every bit of thick tomato concentrate inside. Next, water is added to reconstitute and thin the mixture, making it easier to pump through the factory's pipeline system. Within minutes, the tomato blend is transferred into a giant mixing tank capable of holding up to 1,300 gallons. Here, the tomato base is combined with precisely measured amounts of salt, vinegar, and sweeteners, creating a balanced, flavorful foundation. Meanwhile, in another large kettle, olive oil is heated and infused with onion, garlic, paprika, basil, oregano, black pepper, citric acid, and dried mint. This fragrant spice mix is lightly sautéed to release its aroma before being added to the main tomato blend. Once all the ingredients are combined, the mixture is stirred and gently heated for about 5 minutes, resulting in a smooth, rich tomato sauce with a distinctive herbal fragrance. So, what's your favorite instant noodle flavor? Share your go-to choice down below in the comments. Once the soup base and seasonings are ready, they are packed together with the noodle block, each serving containing the dried noodles, a soup powder packet, and a separate flavor or oil sachet. This packaging method preserves the full flavor and keeps every component fresh until it reaches your kitchen. After packaging, the noodles are shipped to stores all around the world, patiently waiting for that moment when someone pours in boiling water, bringing them back to life in a cloud of delicious steam. Thank you for watching all the way through. See you next time on another episode of Food Tech Today.